Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Amaka Ekuno, and I would like to do a testimonial for the intentional parenting that I've been with for 2 years. Okay, so what do I want to say? I just want to say I joined the TIP for a reason, because my kids were struggling a lot to listen to my instructions. It seemed like I was repeating everything forever, and I thought, I'm stuck here. These kids will never get independent. And so I thought to myself, I need something different. And a friend of mine said, oh, look, you could join the intentional parenting. I said, well, okay, I'll join. But on joining the intentional parenting, I must tell you, the whole story changed. The transformation is not for the children. Transformation has been for me. I've noticed that I need to be more consistent. So because I've been here for 2 years, so first year I actually struggled a lot with consistency, and I started getting myself to be consistent, not my children. So the whole story changed. I was now working on myself and not necessarily on the children, and I found that the reality of me being or becoming who I should be is what has been holding me back, or what has been holding my children back from even moving on. Because if I move on, they move on. And I'm just aware of the time, so I want to just say this really important. TIP is a place to be, because there's a community to support you. I struggled with consistency first year. This year, I'm struggling with a lot of trauma and healing from things that have been holding me back. To actually overcome my consistency problem, I need to know where it came from. And so that's something I've really, really enjoyed in the TIP. And I'm telling you, I'm a TIP person forever. I'm a Yada for life, because I know where I'm going. And this has been a transformational journey for me. And it's a journey that would not end until I go. So, yes, there's been lots of changes for my family, my husband, my children, me in my workplace. And even this year, I've noticed that I've become more spiritual, because I've gone into also doing a program to help me spiritually, because the more you get to know yourself, the better you become at doing things that strengthen you and makes you grow. It's a transformation that cannot end. Every year, I'm learning something new. And I want to say to anybody listening, please join the TIP, because if you're not there, the ark is going. It's just like Noah shouting, join the ark, join the ark. People are sitting down. Move, join this ark, because he's moving. We think we know it all, but we don't. We need to learn every day. We are all learners. And the more we learn, the more our generations and legacies will see that learning is a process, it never ends. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And thank you, Coach Wendy, for answering the call and not giving up on your mission with parenting, because it has really transformed a lot of life, especially mine. Thank you for this opportunity.
We are live. Thank you. Good morning, beautiful parents. Welcome to another episode of my intentional parenting journey. That was Mrs. Amaka Ekuno, and she said, Kneeling never ends. Yes, it's a new week and it's a beautiful one, because today is very extra special. I tell you, because we are not just hosting a parent, we are hosting a father Yada, and beside him is his incredible wife. Please, my honorable members, help me welcome Mr. and Mrs. Adegboye, founder of the King's Mindset Hub. They have walked through this journey, through the Inner Circle program. And today, we get to hear firsthand how this journey has shaped their parenting, strengthened their marriage, and renewed their mindset and deepened their work in God. But before we go further, please, can we take a moment to appreciate Coach Wendy Ologi? Please shout out to my mama, Coach Wendy Ologi. Ma, we love you and we honor you. And if you're watching me right now, if you're already in the building, please do not forget. Do me this favor, share the link on that link. Share the link to every father, to every mother, or even a friend who needs this conversation. Don't enjoy this alone. Don't be here and sit alone. Someone's journey can begin just by sitting inside this room. It can begin with you sharing, right? Thank you, everyone, and welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Oluwatosin Adegboye. Thank you for being here. Let's dive into this
Thank you.
conversation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Nachi. Thank you. We're honored to be here. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Coach Wendy. Thank you, because I also have to greet my master conclave. Right? Thank you. Thank you, Senior Lola. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for hosting us today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma. And thank you. Welcome our little miss sitting by the side, our TIP baby. We see her. She's loved. Okay, so, sir, ma, I want to know what made you decide to join the Inner Circle program as a couple. Was it
Mm.
one person was it one person decision first? And what was your first impression when you joined the Inner Circle program? We'll go with the ladies first, ma. With you first.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I came in contact with TIP on Facebook. So I think sometime in 2019, I just saw something that says intentional parenting group, and it looks as if I'd never seen that those two words brought together. I'm like intentional parent, and I'm not somebody who even scrolls on Facebook. So I'm like, okay, let me join this group and see what's going on. And then I met Coach Wendy, and then she was talking about at that time she was saying do not yell and do not beat your child. And I'm like, I beg, this people have come again. Because it looked like we're in that era where it looked like what they call gentle parenting now. Like, I saw coach put that thing, and I said that that's also what people say when I said I don't know what gentle parenting is, because it looked like they were giving children, we're beginning to give children the parents' rights, and then parents had to stay at the back, and then the children were doing things. So I'm like, I beg. The Bible says, okay, maybe I can even understand do not hear, but do not beat your child. No. Even if I was never beaten as a child, but one of those days, when you listen to something, there's this algorithm. So there was this other Caucasian who was also now saying a short video with a child it was also saying that do not yell at your child, because when you yell at them, they don't hear what you're saying because everything goes to the back of the head, and so they are not hearing. And then I paused at that point, and then people used to say they have strong reach out. Okay, so I had at that time, I think my daughter was just few months old, and when something doesn't go away, she did like this. I have to bring it down for her. She was that, at that. So she was doing something exactly at that time. So I spoke to her. I looked at her and I spoke to her and said, "Please don't do this for this reason." And then she stopped for the very first time. And I'm like, okay, so this thing that this person is saying is right. And because maybe I did like a research and it worked for me, I started following Coach Wendy straightforward. And I could have even been in the 2019 thing, but Grandma too was traumatizing us. And okay, she's giving value, must pay this kind of money and whatnot. But I started following at that point, I started following everything she says, like everything every day, like from the very first what's it called, guide, family value. I saw it on her status. I paid everything. I paid. I started paying, and I started even talking about TIP in a circle before I joined. I remember that the very first book I saw her published then was "Walking Your Child Through Puberty." I was not in the inner circle, but I also joined. So then they were announced like you want to like help us promote it. I was there, following and following, and that was my journey to joining CIP. And then I think after the second year, my husband joined. Because okay, so I started doing the work, and then it looked like it was very easy again because at that time I'd now moved to at the point that when I joined in a fully, I'd moved from Lagos to Ibadan. So the children were with me. And then when my husband sees them, he just saw the results. They were like just 1 year old. So basically all of them were like TIP babies because I started following. Yeah, they were all like TIP babies. And so I was like, okay, this thing is working. Don't you think we should do it and we should do it together? And then that's how he joined. Want to say something?
All right. Thank you so much. I told her that when we were told that we'll be on screen, I said, "Oh, I just," I said, "That's great, anyways." And I told myself that it is windy o'clock. It is windy o'clock, you know. And sincerely, everything she said is true. She listens to read a lot. I'm not bothered, not because I'm bad on we're fine as a parent, but I just believe I know that she won't go for anything that's not good. But continue, it's okay. But one way or the other, I don't know how women do those things. She got me, and I saw that something is working. These are not the babies that I know for a while ago. And then she was able to even cook with them when they were not with me, when she was transferred from work. So the babies needs to move for caring reason and all. I just go weekend or she comes weekend. So I saw results. And when she said, "I don't you think we need to join?" I said, "Yeah, join. I'm with you already. I don't need to join, but joining has been me joining has been one of the best decisions I will make, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. He said, I don't know how these women do this, but I saw results and I decided to come in. Thank you for sharing that with us, sir. And yes, sometimes transformation, it begins with the quiet hunger. Yes.
Mm.
Not because there are things broken, not because there's something lost, but because there's a recognition that there must be more than this. There must be more than what it is we have. There must be more to how we were doing it. There must be more to this parenting. There must be more for my children. That's how it begins. And when a couple chooses to grow together, I see it oftentimes. The alignment that come in is the alignment that speaks louder, not pressure, not cares, not yeah, 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 but the alignment. It is so beautiful seeing couples do this journey always, always, every time. Because at the end of the day, you will see it that there is something. It's in the alignment. It always speaks louder than what it is that is happening around the background. Seeing you going through this journey together is the most beautiful part of it, because that is how it should be. The inner circle program is this program that when you begin to see that there is something, there is a result. Yes, your wife joined first, but at the end you were able to be convinced with the results you were seeing, because yes, you actually know she won't go for anything that could actually become a harm to your family, but deep down you saw that this thing is more than becoming a harm. This thing is it's the assignment, it is the calling, and you decided to come in. Thank you so much. And if you're just joining us, you are here, and you're seeing and you're listening from Mr. and Mrs. Ademboyes sharing their journey through the inner circle program. Sir, please pardon me. I hope I can
No,
pronounce
no,
it
no,
well.
you're fine. I'm not. No, no, no. You are not being crucified for that.
All right, thank you, sir. And you're hearing them share their beautiful journey through the Inner Circle program. And so far, it's been the alignment for me. And, sir, over to you. Mr. Ademboye, so many parents see parenting as the mother's lane. What shifted for you? What made you chose to be present emotionally, spiritually, and intentionally in raising your children and as a priesthood in your home? Over to you, sir. What was it for you? What speak for you? What was that pick for you to join? And how has it been for you generally since you've actually become present intentionally in your home and being a priesthood of your home, of your house? How has it been? How has the inner circle made all of that beautiful? Over to you, sir.
All right. Thank you. So, I grew up in a family that really love each other. My father, my mother, they love themselves so much. But you can't remove the big cane and some kobokos hanging somewhere in the house. And we all know that if that happens, sorry, we're just trying to, so what made me to join? It was I think I traveled to Ibadan, you know, Oyo State to Nigeria, where she and the kids were at that time. And I saw my children how they were so coordinated. The coordination was so much. They said, "It is 7:30. We need to sleep now, mommy. Let's pray. Let's no." I was just, I became a stranger in my own house. That am I in the same house? Because children that I know, we exercise being children, but you know, I just need to say that they were completely transformed. They were following a structure without that time my boy was still bedwetting, we're still trying to potty train, but I don't know how she put the structure together and he wakes up himself, goes to the washroom, you know, do all these things. They sleep. They are not zombies. They take initiatives themselves. I said, wow. So life can this be good? Okay. I think this is what subscribing to. So I subscribed to it immediately. Though that time the money wasn't much. I think that's the benefit of joining early. The money was not because in our currency that time the money wasn't much compared to now. You know, so that made me to see that I need to I need to buy in. So I need to buy into this kind of thing that make children, because even at school there are testimony about this, the school they were attending then. So this made me to see that I think this is the way to go. This is the way to go. And if I'm going to enjoy my fatherhood, and I will not even do it on a stress level, I need to just lay when they say pencil up, I need to just do pencil up and quickly join and jump into the moving Ferrari, not this small kite, because the moving Ferrari it's most fast, most fast. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. This is it's such an important point. I mean, he said he has to join the moving Ferraris, not this kabuka buka. And then, sir, you said when you came home, you saw that there was so much results. It's like you were being left behind. It's like the trend was almost leaving you. You saw your children doing things. There was so much organization, like it was so organized, like you could see your children say things that, I mean, you were surprised, and you could see that really something is working, and then you decided that this place is the place. So this place is the place, and you don't want to be left behind. You have to jump in, you hopped in to actually make sure that you're not left behind, because there was a lot coming out from the implementation, from what she was doing. There was so much result that was speaking loud, that you were able to recognize, and then you decided, no, if I want to do this parenting, if I want to do this spiritual of my home, you will need to do it the right way. You will need to get into the right circle. You will need to be involved. And then you said, yes, maybe then it was not so expensive, but you have still, since then the price has still been shifting, but you stayed rooted, you've been here. It was not the same price when you joined, but yes, because there was so much result, and because you saw beyond all that was happening, this is the place for you to be. This is that place for every father. Fathers, your presence matters. God calls fathers to lead with guidance and intentionality. And in this program, like the Inner Circle program, is not it's the inner circle program is the place for every father who must lead intentionally, who must guide, who must become this priesthood of their home, who must be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, leading the right way. The inner circle is that place. Inner circle is very essential. When a father shows up, it shifts the family culture, models courage and commitment, and it demonstrates that parenting is truly a partnership under God's guidance. And it's in the inner circle you will do it that way, under God's guidance, the right way. Be in the right circle. Parents, be present with the right knowledge. Because when you came in and then you saw that the children, I mean, these people are doing, I wasn't here, but there was something going on. There was modeling going on. There was very good value that was being instilled in those children. And you saw it, and you saw that even in your absence, there was something, there was much transformation, even in your absence. And you decided, no, I cannot be absent, oh, I want to be involved. And then you walked in. And so far, you've been here. I could see in the comment section, they said you've never missed book review for any day. The consistency of being involved, of being present, have actually been speaking. Someone said these are the years that have actually been yathering, yathering yathasikally, and that for me, that was it. Because I mean, when you are being consistently present with the right knowledge, it goes beyond your children. It goes beyond your family. People around could see it. They could see that you are present, and they could see that you're not just being present, you're being present and consistent. You're instilling the right values, changing the family culture, modeling the right way, doing the right thing, instilling in your children. You're modeling with your presence. Real growth happens when both parents engage and lead together. And that
Then
is
can
what.
I add something, please? Sorry.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
what is being believed even till now, when some families separate, they believe that the children should go with their father because of the discipline. And the discipline they are talking about then is the discipline of, beating, that the mother is so passive in doing that. I did not regret leaving my kids with my wife because they're supposed to become spoiled, but they become better in a couple of months. Some people say, "I let them be with their father, oh, because they'll be disciplined, they'll be spoiled when they are with mother, pampering." Discipline does not remove love. Even love makes us disciplined. So, it's just key. I'm sorry to cut. I'm sorry.
No, sir, it's fine. Thank you so much. That was so powerful. I mean, that's another angle. You see, that's another reminder that if you as a father don't take your position and lead the way, women will take the position. And God will definitely bless them. God will definitely direct them better. God will give them that progress because they have already stepped in. When you fail to be in charge, when you fail to take your place as a father, because yes, in our community, the society, we often believe that a child that a woman raised will not turn out well. It's only when a child that was raised by the father, that a father figure, that will turn out well. Yes, it is said. Yes, there's actually evidence of that. But in this case, he came back and he was surprised that the children they were the opposite to what people were talking about. They become better, they become well transformed. Why? Because there is a community like the inner circle. I tell you, even when there was a saying that this is the way it should be, but if you immerse yourself in a place, in a community that God have provided for you, in a community that will provide you with the necessary knowledge, there is nowhere that knowledge will not come up for you. There is no aspect of your life you cannot solve with knowledge. You see, that's the power of knowledge. But because she's in the inner circle, because she's been in the inner circle and dipping herself through this journey and implemented, the results we're speaking. Our father Yada came back and he said, no, these children, I thought it was supposed to be like this, how people said it, but no, it came out the opposite because there is the inner circle. And inner circle is the place for your savior. Inner circle is that place you will be and you will never be wrong. You can never be in the inner circle and you are wrong. You can never be in this community and you are wrong. Even when there was a saying that it's supposed to be wrong, it will go out, it will turn out right because you are in the place God have provided for you. God have directed for you. The inner circle is that place. The inner circle is in pure heaven. The inner circle is the safe place for you and your children. Thank you so much, sir. That was so powerful. And if there is a father in the building listening and hearing us, I tell you, if you've not taken charge, if you've not come and own your position as the priesthood of your home, if you have not deepened yourself and come into this place, inner circle is essential. Inner circle is essential. If you have not come into this yard and taken your place and lead the right way, guide your family the right way, you're missing out. Until you do that, you're missing out both in the sight of God. In fact, you are sinning if you have not done that. And yeah. If you have not done that, I tell you, you're missing out. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma. Sir, please, I would want to know how has being in the inner circle affected your marriage, your communication, conflict resolution role? What changed in for you and your wife since being in this community in your marriage? How has the inner circle sprinkled extra spices and extra flowers and extra beauty and extra, all the sweetness that we can talk about? How has the inner circle shaped the whole foundation of your marriage? We'll start with you, ma. Over to you, ma.
Yes. Thank you so much. So you know that, like even when I've always followed, right? And then when the couples conclave was going to start, we registered first, and not because we had any issue in our home, like we're doing well, but being in the inner circle teaches you that you have to have accountability. you know. Like recently, my husband and I were saying something. I said, "This one, no, it's God that will clear it for us." It was like, "No, we don't have." I said, "We're going to book, we're going to book a session with God on this issue. I'm not going to agree." But it was like, "We're going to resolve it, right?" And then we did. But what that did to us is that you have a space and a place where you have people of like mind. Why did we think of God? Because we know that, okay, it's going to look at it objectively. It's not going to side Tosin or side Shegu. It's going to make us see why, which is a blessing that many couples do not even have. Now, being in the inner circle had made us to bond well, and then it also helped us to like decide better, because so you're not when something is happening, you're not looking at, oh, who wants to gain? Is it me? Is it you? We're looking at the bigger picture. We make decisions that it didn't make sense to a lot of people or people around us. Maybe with time now they're coming around to say that it's like there's sense in what these people are saying. We're in Canada, and then there's a way that people do their thing. Right from Nigeria, I told my husband, this husband go in the morning, wife come in the night. We're not doing it. Because I knew from inner circle that, and my children, those are they don't see their dad. Imagine that I'm sleeping. My son he just wakes up. He leaves me and go to meet his dad. That I want to go and pee. When he was so young. That's how much they like their dad. So I'm like, so when you go in the morning, I come in the night. When do we even come together? When did the children see us together? It was a decision that we were able to make, because we're in because you have a stronger why, right? Even our house, like, okay, put in somebody so that what are you doing in all these rooms? I'm like, no, we're not going to do that, because why do I bring a stranger to my house? It's because they are really a stranger, and our children were young, they would not even know the difference. This was that anyone that comes to our house, uncle, auntie, we're like, no, we're not going to make that decisions, because we have a stronger why. The way we also pattern our finances and everything is from a higher knowledge. We're not just gambling or doing things anyhow. We're not just following things. We know why. Like, we have a plan. And then being in the inner circle. So I think it was 3 years ago. Coaches talk about budgeting. Now academy has not even become like really big then. And so there was a tool that says, do your budget. And God used to say everything, miscellaneous, everything is accounted for. I said, oh, really? So that month, me and my husband said, okay, let's do our budget. Let's even see. We're very humble at the end of that analysis. You're like, so even our prudence is not prudent enough, but that's something we will not even, and this is us that we don't, we're not eating out, we're not doing so much. But I just said that, okay, by the time we go to, so we have this grocery store that we buy like bulk of what we need for the month. I said, but at the end of the day, we're still going to this smaller one to get other things. So I said, that means our prudence is not prudent enough. But that's something that we also gain from the inner circle. Also, coach talks about, what you do with your time. Being in the inner circle has made us, we'll sit down and say, okay, this is how I want to plan ourselves. Family, there's so many things we do. The children glean from it. They glean, they see us. Okay, the other time in couple clubs, they're asking that you should ask your children if they're interested in marriage. I asked my daughter, yes, now I'm going to get married. Yeah, I'm daddy, even my son, everybody. So that means that it made us know that like we're doing something right because we had a bigger knowledge. We have a better knowing. So we do things based on, we're not doing things based on what everybody is saying. It's no opinion of men. It's no opinion or what the trend is because we know, because we have understanding from the TIP that, okay, this is how you have to do things. And then God will be talking about, buy a house without credit card. How is that possible in this diaspora? But with time, we don't fight like Coach Amalola. We don't fight when they say something. I don't fight it. We'll sit down and say, okay, how does this work? How can we learn more about it? And that's what we do, So that's what we've been doing. That's what has helped our home. And our children, right? Honor as a skill, for instance. They honor us, like honor to the core. Like I'll come from work sometimes, and then my children already said, like, "Oh, mommy, we know you'll be tired, So we already made this thing." There's a time that my husband, so sometimes my husband goes out of he goes out of our city to another city for church purpose and do something. There was one time I went for 3 days. Me, I'd already gone out before, but they already cooked, and then they were already planning. Oh, I have to make it this for daddy. When my husband came, they are not finished. Sorry, they're not finished, and so they told him to go inside with the baby. And then they gave him executive, come in, wait, come, close your eyes. And then they set the table. I'm like, oh, wow. Because the one I said that, like, they like him more than me. Anyways, but being in inner circle has really, really improved our marriage, improved communication. Of course, there's some things that we even knew before, something like assumption, communication, something my husband even taught me before we got married. So there was one time like, so I'm calm, but when I want to prove my point, I really want you to listen. I want to prove it. So that day I called him and I was talking and I was like, calm down, you're talking to me. I'm like, yes, I'm talking to only, I want to. He said, no, you're shouting. I'm not shouting. I just want you to understand what I'm saying. Like, if I record this thing and play it to you, you'll see how, it's just me I'm talking to. Why are you? So, we already have this thing, but being in the inner circle, we give you a deeper why. For instance, something like sprinting, it was something that, even God, like when we got married, we had to pray that God, we want a TV, that kind of thing. And God said, no, I only give you, I only allow you to get a TV when you use it for my business, So that kind of shaped what we watch and whatnot. But being in the inner circle, we now realize that, okay, it's even beyond watching things. So like I remember that my children. So for me, when we grew up, there was no phonics. It was just ABC. And as they learn sound, when we got to high school, they now introduced sound that we did not know before. So, but there's this video, Letter Factory. It helped me to understand sound. So I used to use it to teach my children then. But I realized that in the CD, towards the end, there's just they gave us the extra one. And this is many years ago, not even like now that things are crazy, right? It was many years ago. I just realized that there was a scene there, just one scene, where one of them is. I'm like, for a baby, for children, so that kind of big understanding. So it went beyond using your screen for the kingdom of God, to be very intentional about screen. It was girls International Day of the Girls recently, like last month. And I just said, oh, I'm not doing anything. So I decided to just call my daughter to, because the team. So I just asked her. It was just very random. We didn't do any rehearsal. I just told her that, okay, tell me about, so this is the thing. Do you know today is the girl international? She said yes. And I said, okay, so it says that the girl that leads in crisis. So what are you going to do? Said, I've observed that in school, everybody is just all about their phones. They don't. I'm like, okay, so what are you going to do about that? I'm going to make an advocate. I said, so, and this is something we didn't discuss, but they had learned from it, right? Even our adopted daughter, I just realized that. I mean, she's about 25. I just realized that she doesn't put acceptance. We don't just say anything. It's somebody's birthday, it's something from the campus fellowship, or sometimes she will put married thing. I said, like the married thing that you have is you that is you that is going to carry the mission. And I put it on my stand, and people be like, oh wow. And I'm like, it's even a so I thought that we've modeled, I mean, to an extent, we modeled certain things for them, that they are now seeing, that they have at the back of their head. So even things that about marriage that maybe they will not. Okay, so recently we also have a program in church. Sorry, I talk a lot. So we had a program in church, and there's this person saying that she married at 18, and that's the conversation we've already been having in the year. I mean, don't understand me. I'm like, yeah, so we must marry early. You must marry early, no time to wait. So like, but you guys married late. I said, we do not know better. And if I'd married early, maybe would have made a mistake, would have married the wrong choice. But for you're learning from us now. You're seeing everything. So you must do, and that's how they were passing even a marital legacy to them. So we've seen that it's beyond just us, what to enjoy. Of course, we decide that we're not going to have issues in our home, but beyond that, it is a legacy thing that we have to also pass to our children and even people around us, young people around us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to you, sir.
Uh, Inner circle, and see, it's when you think you are joining something for someone, and you don't know that you are doing it even for yourself. Don't worry. Excuse me, please.
Sorry.
So sorry, please. So you don't know that you are doing it for yourself. That is just what that thing is. Because joining in a circle and being a conclavite and all has really helped it helped me more to appreciate my wife.
Wow.
To appreciate her more. I see that the more you appreciate, the more you appreciate, the more the person do more. I appreciate her before, but I appreciate her more now. Sometimes she does not need to do anything spectacular, May God deliver us from some mentality that makes us to think until someone does something spectacular, that is when they can take tumble. Even in the little thing. One day I just sat down, maybe 2 months ago, 2 months ago or so, and I was writing a lot of things, appreciating that, because that was how I felt. I wouldn't have gone that far appreciating her. But being in this big place has made me to know that, even God will say, appreciate your wife, do the, and when God wants to say some things, He will shout and move close to the gadget he's using. I say, I think men are on this platform. So it's made me to appreciate her more. And it makes the children to, they don't want to stay long outside.
Yeah.
The children don't want to stay long outside. Yeah, children likes to play, but immediately you come, you will see the warmth. You know, the day I came and they have made food and then, oh, yeah, you know the kind of food they make, but you must say, wow, I love this, let's eat. You know, even the initiative they took to bring that on, I don't know where it came from. So this has really helped our marriage to to we are not looking for faults anywhere, but we're just being aware of our environment. We are aware, we know where our children should go. They don't go out, not because we don't have places they can go, but we are it yeah, it made us to screen out a safe place for them to go. Even talking about close family friends here, we just allow them to go because we know a drop of negative thing, something that is different from what we have given to them, will make us to begin again. So this helps me to love my wife more. It helped me to appreciate her more. It helped me to, before I buy things randomly, I'll just go out and buy things. But now I do more. Before I think of myself now, when I go out, I was you're not taking for it. I said, my wife. See, immediately my wife have things. Leave me. I have 100% of it. Because she come thank you. So she comes first after God. She comes first. So it makes our love to be more stronger, to be more stronger, to be more stronger, and that's a big thing for us also because our children are seeing this love and they don't love me more than my wife. They don't love my wife more than me. They know whatsoever mommy says no, they don't even bother to come to me. Whether I'm not in town, they know the same thing we will say. So, and this has made us to really bond very, 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 very well. Very well. Very well. Thank you so much.
So let me add one more thing. Honoring your spouse is another thing that we really learned in the inner circle. You know, and then knowing what your husband really likes. What is, like what you say, what is respect to your husband is is not generic. And the honor culture that we give to ourselves is also something that we have learned in the inner circle. Yes, maybe we have loved ourselves and honored, but the way we intentionally do it is something that we learn from the inner circle. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much, sir. And I mean, this has been so beautiful hearing. It's been a very enlightening conversation. And that is the beauty of the Inner Circle program. The Inner Circle program doesn't just parent your children. It parents marriage. And come, if you're here, you are not at the conclave. The Inner Circle will expose your dark spots. But the conclave vibes. The company will brighten and sweeten the whole process. That's what it is. And if you're here with your spouse, even if your spouse is not yet in the yard, go and join the company. There is the depth of this conversation that you can never get until you are in the conclave. If you've not joined the conclave at the Marriage Seal Academy, take it from me today. Run now, get your space, get your spot, be there. Get your spouse, be there. If your spouse is not there, join first and see things transform. That was so beautiful. You said, if my wife is happy, I am happy. I don't even need anything first for my wife because my wife is next after God. My wife is next after heaven. You see, that's the beauty. And I was just gushing over here. It's so beautiful seeing how, I mean, couples do this journey. in partnership, it changes everything in your home. He said, anytime you both of you are home, your children like to play. Yes, they are on their own, they're playing. But once they see both of you together, they want to come together, they want to come closer to you. That's what moving the right way does. That's what being in this journey, partnering together does. You do it in partnership. It teaches you, it teaches couples, the conclave, the inner circle. You can't be in the inner circle and you are with your spouse and you are not in the conclave that marries you. It is like this, like this. All of them goes, hand to hand in a beautiful way. It teaches couples to love with understanding. Even if there was a correction to be done, even if there is something that had gone wrong, you communicate with wisdom, you correct with wisdom. When you live in this, when you are together, when you're doing this as a partner, you live together as a team instead of as opponents. You become teammates together. The journey becomes more sweeter. The bonding becomes more sweeter. You see your children, they are learning to love from you. I tell you, if when there is peace, when there is this peace and this partnership in your parenting process, in your parenting journey, you see that it goes beyond the both of you. It essentially it is to your children. You see your children, the way they behave, the way they talk. You can't be around a very happy couple, a very happy family. When you see spouse on this journey, doing this journey, doing this, going through this journey in a very smooth, happy way. Because when there is partnership, the journey becomes easier, it becomes more calmer everywhere. The environment, the atmosphere becomes more sweeter to ride on on this journey. And you can't see a child who is around here and feeling not loved, and you can't see that child seeking validation outside, and you can't see that child throwing tantrum. It goes beyond I honor my husband honor me. We speak in a very lively tone. It goes beyond that, because your children will perceive when there is love. The way you treat yourself, the way you speak, the way you correct, the way you communicate, your children will see it. It is in the modeling. Yes, even if you both of you want to pretend around the children when they come around, "Oh, we are okay." They are seeing it. You think they don't? They do. And you will see it in their behavior. And it goes a long way, because you will see it in their behavior, the way they communicate with people outside, the way they even treat you as their mother, the way they even treat you as their father. You will see it. It is there. And please, my honorable members, pardon our baby, our TIP baby. She's speaking. I mean, she's concurring to all that we are sharing here, because she's a witness. I mean, she's the legacy. She's the legacy. I mean, she's seeing it and she's concurring. Please, you people should pardon her as she joined us on this. Much, sir. Thank you so much, ma. Johnny, in practical terms, whole foundation in your marriage. How the inner circle have added extra flavor because you decided to be willing to go through this journey, and then you recognize that beyond learning through this space, there is the conclave. There is that conclave which is for us. Yes, there doesn't have to, it doesn't, there is not supposed to be a fight. There is not supposed to be war before you learn, before you decide to be in the right space where you learn. I tell you, sir, you were able to say that, yes, these are the things I knew. These are the things I do. But being in this community, being in the conclave, being in the inner circle has actually given me more insight, have actually given me more direction to do things way better. He didn't say he wasn't doing it though. He didn't say there was a fight before he joined the conclave. He said, he recognized that there was a place, and that place is this place. And that place is the conclave, and that place is the inner circle. And since being in this community, have actually given him more insight to actually do things better. He buys things for the wife before he does. This boy said, being in this community have actually made him recognize that there was deeper way, there was better way, and there was a way. You see, that's the beauty. It doesn't have no. There was not supposed to be trouble before you come in. The fire is not supposed to be chasing you before you decide to run in. Okay, was saying before you remember to be inside the community. You're supposed to be here, be here. You do things from a place of ease and peace. That's the beauty of this community. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. And then I want to ask, what is one practical change you made in your parenting and in your business Yes, you are the founder of the King's Mindsets, right? So how has inner circle, because the inner circle the inner circle is a place you will be, and I mean it's not isolated in one angle of your life. It goes beyond your children, your marriage, and your business, and in your parental journey, and in your business, and in your environment. Yes, I know you are not in Nigeria. How has the inner circle added more beauty with the way you raise your children in the UK, I mean in Canada rather? How has the inner circle added more flavor to the way you raise in this in diaspora in Canada? And how has it added to your business, your career, and what is the practical change you've noticed in your parenting journey? Over to you. We'll go with you, Ma, first.
Thank you so much for that question. I was 2 years ago when I was on the stream. I said that inner circle is a place of transformation. Is a school of life. That's where I put it. Is a school of life,
Full
because
of life.
once you're in the inner circle, you don't have to be everywhere again, because everything is just here. So starting with the parenting that you mentioned, when I came here first, so when I saw that my children were coming, I just looked in the yard. Who was that person that's been in diaspora? I was just asking questions. So I called her Senior Lola because I realized I went to the same secondary school there. She's the senior yada. So I went to Dr. Lola and say, okay, so my child will be fine when she gets here. She's going to go into school. She gave me some things. She said, oh, some mistakes that she made. And then I implemented all of those things. Trust me, those things made our children to have a safe sail in school. Soft landing. First of all, we didn't just put our children in just anyhow school. We did an environmental scan, that kind of thing. And then we did what school fits in an immigrant, you know, and then they will not have any issues. We searched. So there was even one I first knew that was close to the university. So but there was another one that they say, oh, is very tolerant to, because is culture diverse, and so we put them there. Now, the first day my daughter went to school, she wrote a cardboard and painted it and wrote, "I'm excited to meet you." That thing, hey, solidified, because I don't think anybody had ever done it. It solidified the relationship. I knew because even my son passed through that teacher. The teacher will be sending weekend mail to a student. Hello, my friend. My dog was this. They'll be exchanging emails. It was beyond just classroom. You know, it helped them too. So that's the first thing. And then secondly, it gave us so when our children are going to school, we don't just send them to school. We write a mail to the teacher. This is my child. This is his learning skill. This is how he plays. This is how you understand. This is how you can discipline. It's not a mail, it's a document. So the very first time that my daughter was getting into another class, I did that. The teacher met me. I was like, I'd never ever seen this kind of thing before. She was like, this is great. That I've never seen it before. That yes, she's trying to meet the children, but like I've already given her soft landing. So the very next step, because the way they do it, when a child when it's the same school and then the same children, and they don't parents and teachers don't have an issue, they'll put the other child again in the same with the same teacher. I saw that when she was starting school, it was my husband that even noticed that I have taught this woman something. She will now write to parent and help me to learn about your child before I meet them. And that was a culture that we started. Also, if from kindergarten, my son is so everybody we have also been able to understand every child's strengths and weaknesses. My son is very responsible, like high. The bar is very high. To the extent that the teachers will one time they switch their classes, maybe there was something, and the teachers were now fighting that I don't want this boy to go. It was my husband because my husband had us to school. It was one that knows and they now want to take him. He's the only one that cleans up after class. He helps the teacher. For my son to come and say, "Mom, do you know my teachers like me?" My son is very calm. He's the sister that is all over the place. "Mom, do you know my teachers really like me?" And then that so they clean up after themselves, and you enjoy TIP more when you're in diaspora actually, because the things that the way they write, even their results, they don't start with academics. They start with other things, that we don't see. Maybe in Nigeria, of course, but in TIP you see character, all those things, responsibility, how a child communicates, how a child takes. That's from when my children started school till now. It's always 5 5 5. To God's glory and to TIP, it's always 5 5. The ratings, were the ones that used to say, are you not seeing anything on this child that you should? They say, no, 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 no. So their teachers used to say it all the time and tell them they're used to them. But there was a time that they were having a program again in school. And then, so my daughter was presenting. And so she was, hey, mommy, so the gym teacher came to me and said, are you Shay's mom? And Dara's mom? I said, yes. I said, wow, that you guys have great children that well behaved. They're not just well behaved, their academic is also very high. That I needed to come and meet you, that there must be something that you are doing, And as the man left, and when they were rounding up the program again, a parent and the grandmother, came and said, are you Shay's mom? My daughter talks about Shay every day. That I hope she meant, I hope Shay knows. She also mentions my friend, like my daughter as like everybody is. But also we have also taught them friendship. So one day we're in the washroom and then we're cleaning. And then my daughter was like, I wish my friends were here. Coach says that you cannot choose your child's friend, but you can choose the environment where they make friends, right? So my daughter is very popular. We used to be like, who is she? Kindergarten teacher. Every teacher knows her. Every high school student knows her. My husband will be like, you better be preparing for head girl, this girl. I said, don't worry, she has everything. Auntie Etima is coaching her well. She's so. And then she was like, and my daughter is always saying, there are 20 people in class. You say, mention, she mentioned like 19. She's like, but then when she was scrubbing, she was like, I wish my friends were here. And then she was mentioning those who are our own friends' children. And I was shocked that, okay, so that those ones, they're friends, but they're not, because we taught them, this is an acquaintance, this is a classmate, your values was aligned, and then we realized that children, like what you said, they only need your time. There's nothing that, I'm not saying that they tell us everything, but there's so many things. If they're telling us something, sometimes I share with coach, I'm like, are there other parents in this school? Because things are going on, and like and then we're able to have seemingly difficult conversations, like stress conversation. But that those children don't know now. Yeah, rape, they understand what I mean. Just like, sexual immorality, Abby. And then there was a teaching that coach friendship as friendship, how your friends, even cousins, can be a problem if you don't value them. So I was now bringing them. I was teaching them. So I was talking to them about David, King David, how the story of Tama and how it was the cousin of the brother that gave him that wrong advice. But when I was talking, so I got to that point where I said, David, so the son came to meet David and said that he wanted the sister to come and give her food. And my son said, the same David that killed Goliath. I said, yes. But it was like, did you not think that something could happen, like sexual immorality? I did not know where that came from. And I'm like, this is something that I just, even when I was reading the scripture like 2 years ago, that's something I just decoded that, why didn't David even think about this? 7-year-old girl is already thought about it, And then it was just even Friday. She was like, Mommy, in the morning. So when the brother is victim, you can come and stay with me in the kitchen. Like, Mommy, guess you will not believe it. She can be very dramatic. That, can you imagine that she mentioned this, her friend said K-pop, that she was asking her if K-pop demon hunters, and that K-pop demon hunters, that she was asking her if she used to watch it. That she said, no, she doesn't watch it. So then she said she doesn't watch it as well. But that then later, she now told her mom, she's feeling pressure though, that she wants to watch because all their friends spoke about it in school. Then she was like, excuse me. Then she was like, so she now decided to, that her mom now decided to watch it with her. Her mom now said, she was sleeping in the bathroom. She now said, but that song, they play that say idol, idol. Why would they listening to that kind of thing? And then I was like, oh wow. And then we had BLA parent meeting, and I remember Coach Ebuka was mentioning. I was not saying that did I put it on loudspeaker? I remember that I then said I was in the room and I used earpiece, so it's not like a conversation that she heard. So it means that they're right because when you taught them, you don't just listen to songs, you first read the lyrics, so that kind of thing. And then the other time too. So a friend had done a birthday in school. And so she was with everybody, she's like I said, she's very popular. This was my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend. But then we just sat down. Okay, so their dad just dropped us off. And then we sat down with with that woman and then my daughter. So she and her brother they ate after they finished eating. My daughter was the only one who passed the plate. And then she went outside looking for garbage to drop it. And then the woman was like, wow. Then the next thing, she came to meet me. Oh, mommy, I want to play with my friends. Can I also remove my friends? I said, go ahead. She was like, wow. Then she came again. Mommy, can I have extra? I said, no, wait for your friends. There's some more people coming. When they are done, then you can ask. Then later I said, I don't even want to give. Then the woman was just like, wow. So then she came, she saw that I'd finished eating. This other woman had finished eating. Then she came and packed the plate. And I'm like, oh, wow. Then the next thing, so it's my husband that used to go to school to do most of the school. Next thing, my husband just kept calling these girls' name. I started doing that they were not there. I was not, that name was not hearing. It was that woman here. I don't know how she did it. That both of them are not like besties now. I, because she observed that wow, and so that's an example of what therapy has done. Also, our children clean the house. Mop, my son is from 5 years old, he will mop the whole house, And then we can be in the inner circle and some people say I'm overwhelmed, I don't want to continue, but you don't know what's going on outside. We see 10, 12-year-old boy that cannot do anything. Meanwhile, my 5-year-old can clean these babies that far. Even this, even when, for the first time, he would be like, no, I want to do it. So it's not competition between her and her sister. Because when I had, it was summer and then sister was at home. So she will always be like my chief servant that coach used to say. Go and bring this, go and bring papa. Everybody comes and then they see it and they're like, oh, wow. Everywhere, even in the hospital, but the nurse just always say, your children are well behaved. And I'm like, okay, maybe this one is critique. But the day we went for just one, it was a different appointment. And then when we're done, we're seeing her for the first time. We're not even really stayed that long with her, maybe just 5 minutes. And then when we're going, she was like, children are well behaved. I just needed to put that down. Like, okay. I mean, while we're still saying that, sit down. Children are well behaved. So that's it. You would see them, and Yada's children are different. There was a time we also had a Yada family drop off their children. We served them, and then when he finished, he went to the kitchen and insisted he was going to wash his plate. The grandmother is there. She was like, no, she said no, she was not going to drop it. And there was some other play that had been watched, but I didn't know if they were watched. She wanted to watch them again. She was like, no, they are watched. That's just to tell, and this boy is less than 10. But then you go out and then you see a child that is even like 12-year-old, they are still giving them food. My children, it's only dinner that we do together, breakfast and lunch, they take it themselves. There was a time that we had an appointment. So we had told them, so usually they'll pack their snacks and water the day before. And then the night, so I told them, okay, you guys are taking rides to school. I'll just warm it. So they are taking their bath. We came back. So me and my husband, because the plan was that my husband would drop me off, come and pick them, but we said that we still have time. So we were like, let's just finish and we'll come back. So we rushed home to say, okay, let's quickly just warm their food. My daughter came, we are worried that you guys took too long. Okay, so they already had their school bag and everything ready to go. So like, oh, let me warm you. She said, no, I already packed it. Now I remember that, coach, when I joined, coach would say, the twins were by grade 4, they were ready. Me too, I put it in writing. I was looking at that's also the power of journaling. I saw a meeting, family, I said, by so age, you guys will be taking care of yourself. And they're already doing it even before grade 4. The oldest is just grade 2. They can actually prepare. Sometimes myself will say, I don't want that food. This is the one I want. I say, go and prepare it. And it will, you know. So that's the parenting aspect. We can go on and waste time. But I mean, even okay, and then also with modeling, my daughter now says confidently, I want to be a businesswoman. And if you don't become, your children will not become. Now, without CIP, I won't be doing the things myself for. Because if you add my name and sales together, they don't fit me. It was a financial trauma, because I just realized that I can sell, as long as I can market for you, as long as it's not my own, it's fine, you know. But I, the thing just came with when I was in diaspora. I used to buy books a lot. And that's another thing CIP did for me. Of course, the first time I told coach that one thing I first discovered that CIP did for me was reawakening my love for reading. So I love reading, Even when if you ask my daughter, what's the mommy's best of says reading. But it was I loved it before CIP. How after school, work now, I didn't really have that. But I mean, I went to my husband's house, lots of, But then reading was reactivated through CIP again. And then, so when we're in couples country, the very first year, one time God was like, he did a course, how to make 1 million in 6 months. So when he was doing that course, I was listening. Everything for God is saying is making sense. So, but what can I fix it? I didn't see myself selling anything, And then the idea just dropped. It could be a therapy somewhere. And then, I used to buy, and then I was sent to my house. I was just stressing the guy. One day, the guy he just said, wait, when you come, how will you continue with this thing? I'm like, I don't know. I give you answer. I wasn't, I'm doing I'm stressed the other things, But but the second day, I just said I could be selling cycling. At that time, there was no distributor in diaspora. I didn't know how to go about it or anything. Or I remember that my friend was talking about cargo, but I'm like, I didn't even know what you guys are talking about. But then when I joined the masterpiece, but that idea dropped. When I joined the masterpiece, I already had my masterpiece plan, immigrants, children, and whatnot. But then I heard book. I just remembered books that said book, selling book. How? I beg. Now I was jogging, we go, okay, give me a name. And they gave me that name. I thought, this thing is looking like serious. I still left it, But after a while, it just feels like you have to do this thing or nothing. I told my husband, I said, at this point, even when I sent a message to coach to say, if you want to buy your books in Canada, you can reach out. Coach was like, because I was proud of myself. 90% of what I did was just books. I was just feeling myself. I wasn't serious. Because everyone now reach out to me, you have Connect Correct? I don't have. You have this one? I don't have. I just realized I had the book lying down in my house. I was not using it. You hide your lights under the bushel. That was it. But then it just became that, okay, there was no option. So I had to even now start selling books. But then I was like, what is this among so many? What is selling books? I beg. So I was doing it passively. But then as I was selling books, I began to realize that it wasn't just books I was selling. I was transforming lives. And I realized that the people that are supposed, when people say, when you don't rise up, people that are supposed to be attached to you will be stuck. I began to see it. Like, really. I began to see it. Somebody will say, you recommended a book for me. I mean, there's somebody that our son is not like our daughter's son. I've not even met the boy, but just because I recommend, she was like, our child was going to become another religion. And so while she was talking about gender issues, there were deeper issues that she didn't see. But I just recommended the book. And now I bought the book for myself and my children again. Selfishness. Yeah, it's selfish. I just usually just I think about my children, because me, I'm always praising all the coaches that sell books, print books, because I never wanted my children to be reading dark diaries, all those things are just for entertainment. I wanted something that will give them value. So when I started seeing, Coach Marybear's book, I'm like, thank God, thank God, thank. My children don't buy just, even when they go out, they went out with somebody. They don't just book, because I'll teach them, even when you see a title, something should ring your head that there's something hiding in this book, So I just told her casually that, well, I bought this book. I remember you mentioned in the group about your son. She just said yes. But I see that boy now, everything he says is God this, God that, God this, God that. And then it's not just her, it's just different people, And I just now said, okay, this is beyond what I thought it is, And so that's also what TIP did for me. I would never add, then, then being in the inner circle, the tools, one of the tools says, go to let your children have conversations with their grandparents. Now, before my husband was coming, they went to visit my dad, and then the children are so young then. And so I said, this tool that we've not done, please implement it. My dad was like, oh, these children, no, they will not. I said, just stop, just video it. It was from that conversation that I heard for the very first time that my grandfather was a big businessman who even does business across Nigeria, to other countries. And I didn't even take it casual. My main dad, for the first, all I hear is my dad would say he died when he was young, nothing really about that knowledge. But then, during the TIP conference, so I put it there when Chris was talking about, and people were reaching out to me that, no wonder, this is where you got your business idea for. I said, you guys don't know about it. It's not. But then I started tying it down that what happened. Why is it that my daddy and business, they don't go together? I realized that even when you want to do business, it will try and discourage you. I'm like, what is going on here? Because now my daughter used to say, I want to be an artist, but now she's very determined. Me, I'm going to be a businesswoman. She designed, she's in the Girls Up too. She designed a VR project. She started selling. She even told me recently, say I should do a logo. One time she say, help me with how I'm going to put, she can do so many things. She can, one time she's like, I think maybe I'll be an event planner, because she's very good with planning things. She'll plan movie night, she'll organize the popcorn and everything. She'll remind you it's time. Even to do, timetable. There was a time I told her, do timetable for you. People should do timetable. Don't stress. My sister was here. We're here in the kitchen, and she was here in 5 minutes. We had not left. She had brought it out. And my sister was like, even me, I cannot. I say, even me, to take me 48 hours to come with this. Papa, she's done it. But right now, she says it very clearly. I'm going to be anything says, I'm going to be a big businesswoman. That's what TIP has done. So, and for me, I just realized that I'm not just selling books. I'm selling transformation. That's just is this book selling that I have to connect with you somehow. People just share testimony with me. I'm like, okay, I don't. What did I even say to you? What did I recommend to you? But that's what TIP. That's something TIP brought out in me. Then the very last one, I realized that I like to write. And I didn't know. Maybe I remember I used to write. I saw Madame Mokwelola say, and she's my accountability partner. Shout out! Oh, she just even commented. Shout out to you. She will write, and then she'll transcribe webinar. Me, I'll transcribe voice notes. But I realized that some people will even reach out to me. Do you use AI? I said I don't use AI. Sometimes it takes me like 1 hour before I'll transcribe voice note. But I realized that transcribing it gives me a better understanding on how to do those things. So I was doing it for myself first. But then with doing that, I realized that, okay, I think I love to write, actually. I love writing. Now, I write anything. That's how you see me type. If I'm on this, I'll be typing. You must see my, but that's also something that TIP brought. Just from, coach will talk about, I have plenty journals. Journal for my husband will be tired every time we go to the store. So you bought another, so I bought another one. I have so many. I just realized that I enjoyed writing. If I'm reading a book, I'm writing. So that's something that inner circle brought out in me. I didn't even know how. I was having a what's it called? Maybe a personality check, and I said, okay, research and writing is your like your powerhouse. But I didn't even know about that. I was like, oh, okay, that's why I enjoy writing. I said, when I decided to use AI refused to use me. I still have to listen and pause and write it. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was so profound. Amazing, amazing. Sir, would you like to add to what she has said on your
I like
career
that.
and
I like
your
that
business?
thinking. All right, one of the things that we apologize. It's the baby moving around, so please pardon us.
I understand,
All
sir.
right. So one of the things that TIP at large has brought out in me and in my home, it has made us to be so, aware of our environment. Now, let me give you a testimony. My mom is around here. She has spent like
More than 5 minutes.
she has spent like
More than 5
more
minutes.
than 5 months here. You know that maybe she's going to send it on the group or send it personally to coach. She's 65 years. Yeah. Do you know that she has taught the taught she likes reading, but she's a retired teacher. She has caught the passion again to start reading. And I can categorically tell you that in the first month, we're still doing, oh, I miss you, mommy. But through TIP, she has caught the passion to read and she has read more than 20 books.
Not 20, like 50 books. I don't have any
More
book.
than,
She's
because she,
compete with
she
her
will
now.
just pick it
She
and
reads
she reads.
every day.
And she has, at least that I can count, she has read more than 20. She's 65. She has read more than 20 books. And my wife was telling her, yes, maybe 3 days ago, that when you are going, we will snap all the books you read because you are not leaving Canada the way you came in. She too now can say, oh, this that is happening now is just what I read.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you.
Well, sometimes you should be like, oh, this is what I just read now.
This is what I just read now.
That they say children should not be doing this. This is what I just
So
read now.
she's really aware now. So, TIP has helped us instead of us to now put her on African Magic Yoruba all day. Thank God for life. Thank God for unlimited internet. Do you get me? She prefers to now read from morning till evening. She will say, I will start to watch the TV by 6 p.m. And she will just do like 2 hours before she goes to sleep. So she has invested her time in doing that. This is what CIP has done for us, that anybody that comes in contact with us, comes in contact with good books. That's another thing. We have some family friends. At first, they were saying, oh, books, books. Now they are buying in threes, in twos, in threes.
Yeah. Let me just even add. One day one of them came and said, every time I come, I see your daughter read. She's opening, she goes to open the door and she's holding a book. She reads. I don't even get that girl. Like Auntie Tima's new book. She finished it, 5 books. She finished it in 24 hours. I'm not kidding. One day she was like, oh, I finished reading God's General. I said, Even my husband was at the dining, like, are you sure? I just had told my husband that, okay, before this girl would think that we don't know anything, she reads a lot. Even this baby, right? This baby wakes up. So there's a prayer book. There's a prayer book on that she sleeps with. I would think that she wakes up, wakes her daddy, and tell him to read to her every morning, like every morning. You know, so that culture, people are like, I don't have it. And then our son, yes, sorry, our son, as a last year, couldn't read like that. He couldn't read, really. He could not. But I remember but my daughter from very young age can read. You know, me and my husband be like, can I even write to ourselves again? Because then we write letter, or write a note. Say, I read, you should be reading it at a very young age. But my son wasn't like that. In short, so when they came to Canada, he'll be like, well, she can't read anything. And I'll be like, don't worry, I'll teach her how to read, you know. But later I saw that I could not. But one day, I remember that one night, you know, my husband just said, but you have to read. There's nobody that reads, that will not read. You will read, and I just saw him from after that. So it's in the Boys Leadership Academy, and then the devotional was what we use actually. So what the dad will say, okay, read, you will read. Then that's say, okay, you already understand. You have be calling. So I cannot read. Say you can read. Then right now we read that book, the devotional without any help. Maybe one help you can say cannot. But before, you know, the first time he was able to read 2 lines. He said, Mom, I can't believe I read 2 lines all by myself, not asking for help. I said, that's it. If you continue to do it every day, you will learn how to read. You know. Now he also read. So there was the reading challenge by Coach Marybeth in last month or maybe September before the resume and during summer. So you were supposed to take pictures of my daughter was saying she was going to reach 60. You know, I didn't even know Coach Marybeth was going to say they should snap. I said, which who will snap 60 books? I beg. That's okay, she read 30. But of course she read more than 30. My son said he was going to read 20. But then there was one time they now said, okay, they should read in 1 hour. So they read. I thought that my son read 7 books. I could not believe it. And I asked him, also, what did you read? Because I will ask you now. And he was telling me, I'm like, wow. Then when he was taking the picture, I thought that he actually done more than 20 books in 1 month. I was shocked. And that's just also like how you can, you know, and we learned this thing in KIP. You come around my house, his books, his puzzles, his all those things that you see around. There's no any other thing. So we created that environment, and then we thought somehow the people around us had also come to that light of book reading is a core. Yeah.
All right. So we can go on and on and on and on. But really, CIP has really helped. And concerning our this business, the king's mindset of, though I'm the logistic officer, not paid, you know, the idea is, I don't know, it gets bigger every day, from ordering little books to ordering big, like that. And it even made us to now be reading, because you can't, how will you market what you are not convinced about, what you've not read? You want to tell someone this book helps. So, so it has helped us to be able to read more also, to be able to read. And whenever you're outside, they will think it's a magic, you know. They will think I'm sorry, they will think it's a magic. So it has helped us to be able to read. And our children, one day my daughter, I was taking them to school, and I don't know what she and her friend, they used to drop her with us in the morning so we can take her to school. She said, see, she was boasting about her mom. My mom is um my mom is leading like 40 girls.
Oh, okay.
She's talking to 40 girls. That's her passion. And whenever they are saying those things, I will not do as if I'm hearing them, because I don't want to interrupt that. So it tells me that we may think these children are not seeing what we're doing, but they are seeing it. They can see it, They know it, you know. I'm very sorry, please. So they are saying it and they are observant. And whenever we want to stop, maybe you feel a little bit tired to do some of these activities with them being posted and all, you will just see that they just manifested the one you taught them last year. You see? And they didn't do as if they understood. They'll just bring it out. You know, so it feel you to do more, to go extra mile that, okay, if they are manifesting what I taught them 6 months ago, let me add more so that they will have something in the bank that they will pick from. Whew, that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. That was powerful. It's always powerful when transformation is not just internal, it's always contagious. That's the beauty of the inner circle program. You know, the transformation that comes with you is not something that is just hidden with inside you, it's
Mhm.
visible. People
Yeah.
around you. Look at how Granny have been able to exhaust. She's chewing the books. Look at
Yeah.
how the environment, the atmosphere, look at how the children, they are seeing it. When parents apply intentionality to both home and work, to their business, to their career, to every aspect of their life, their children can sense it. It is something that they can sense and they are proud of you. Look at your
Yeah.
daughter. She was even being, she was boasting, she was saying it because she has been able to see these things. And most times when you're teaching these children, when you're instilling this value, you think they are not catching it. They are catching every aspect of it. It is in the consistency of your discipline. It is in the calm in decision making. You're not yelling, you're not shouting. It is how you do these decisions making, how you give the instruction, how you show them, how you model them to them. And the example of integrity we instill in these children, it is something that is always visible. It is contagious. Anybody comes into your home now, let's even say, yes, Granny has come and gotten her own part of the transformation. Anybody that sets in your home would always align to the structure, the culture,
Mhm.
the value system that you have been able to set in that home.
Yeah.
Yes, that is how
Yeah.
it goes. That is the
So
beauty of the inner circle program. The inner circle equip parents to lead with purpose. It shows you that this is possible. You can do it. It's from the inner circle you learned about the MMP. And in the
yeah.
MMP, you found that business. You found that business that have aligned with every aspect of what it is you're building on your parenting journey, in your marriage, people around you. It is it. Family and faith. When you align in the right place, you see everything around you. You see everything around you. They just don't compete. They start complementing each other. Your business, your career, your life, your children, your parenting journey, everything align. They just align together. They become something to complement each other because God is in the center of it all, because this is the place God have chosen for you, because God said this is where you should be, because God said this is parenting is the assignment I have given you. It is that calling. When you answers it and come into the right circle to do that parenting as an assignment, you see every angle of your life. No angle of your life will be left untouched. That's the beauty of it. You see every angle of your life transform because God is in the center. Because God is in a circle in the center, holding every aspect of your life. It
Yeah.
is something that everybody can come in and fall in. Anybody that comes in follows the truth. The truth is the light. The light is the inner circle. And anybody around you, you will see, they will see through that light. Since Granny now at 65, she's look at how she have been able to take charge and she have been able to learn so much. You said it, you were right when you said she can't come in and live the same way. No. The same Granny that came is not the same Granny that is living now. With the knowledge she
Okay.
have got, it's in that alignment. It's aligning everything. What they see every day in your life become a living proof of intentional parenting and leadership in action. That is inner circle. That is inner circle for you. Thank you so much. Now that have been, I mean, that have been so much of. You said it's the awareness it brings. Yes, it still has been so much of awareness that yes, when you do these things the right way and you come into the right community, it goes beyond what it is you're doing in your parenting. It goes to every angle of your life. Thank you so much, ma. And then I would want to know, speaking of reading, what are your top three books and top three webinars from the Inner Circle program that have shifted your mindset the most? Individually or as a couple, how has it, the webinars, the book, shifted everything and made everything to actually complement each other? Over to you. We'll go with you,
Okay.
my first.
All right, thank you. So this is the first book, Raising the Emotional Skill Child. So the very first thing I did with TIP is no yelling challenge. And that time we used to do it on the website and whatnot. So even if I joined the inner circle, that was what I did because like I told you, that was what I saw. Oh, this yelling thing is something. So, but when I finished the yelling thing, I even told coach that at the end of the day, I'm not a yeller. Worst case, I'm on level 4. And she was like, "Ah, you're doing well, ma'am." But you know that when your situation change, something can change, and you don't know. So when I had this baby, one day I was talking to I think Coach David, and then she's like, "I'm going to report it to Coach. You just yelled," and I'm like, "Yes, I yelled because I want you to hear that." But and I said, which is a self awareness that will come to you. I said, I think since I had this baby, I started yelling. You know, so fortunately, we had to read this book. In level 2. As I was reading it, I was saying myself. I was just uncovering myself, and I was just writing, see, I would just write and write what I'm supposed to do. Uh, I don't even know. I'm really, but this book found me so much that I got an idea from it, which I will do later. But it helped me to really get back my calmness and being emotionally stable again just by reading this book. So the second book is Raising the Girl with Sense. And I think that this book has been having trophy all this intentional parenting journey. I love the book so much because it's also a topic that I love. One of the reasons, some people reach out to me, oh, I want to leave. Why have you stayed for this long? One of the reasons why I've stayed for this long is I've seen coach. She's been consistent with her values. So, one time that so I mean I was listening and following her, but one day, I think maybe it was the first level, second level, I can't remember. Coach Ebuka was just talking, and she was just talking all and all. Mama Cathedral, that was a long time. People have not seen the kingmaker in Coach Wendy. And I'm like, okay, what's this man saying? It was almost looking like human worship to me. I'm like, I don't understand. I've not seen, I know she's a good coach. I know she's good, but this thing that this man is saying, I've not seen it. And I need to see it. And then I began to listen. So the very TIP summit in Lagos, I heard Auntie Tima say, why she jumped in immediately, Coach Wendy said she was going to do this was because she saw that coach was opening up. Things were opening up with her. I saw the way Coach Joy Unspeakable Joy too was saying. Me, I'm somebody that observe and discern. So I decided to say, okay, there's more to this person. So I followed Coach because she has been true to her values. So and I know when we say they are taking your money, I said, let her take it well. Because I know it's not money for Coach. I don't want to even expose Coach, people, but it's not money, it's her heart. And I've seen it, and I've seen it, and I've seen it. So I started following her. And I also love that because for the very first time, Coach was the first one. All this Deborah, I used to say that the man had determined how the temperature of the family would be. So I saw the first person who was saying the same thing with me. So I connected more with her. And so when this book, as I was reading, I said, yes, this is something. Because you see bad marriages, and you're like, how did this woman end up with this kind of man? It's the issue of sense. It's sense thing. It's not any other thing. It's wisdom. Wisdom was lacking. You see a woman, she'll say that self-esteem is core for women, for ladies, for girls. You will see it. See, a woman knew that this relationship was not right for her, but because we were begging her something of society, she went. So it's always an issue of sense. So when I read this book, I said yes. I also caught myself, when she was like 5. fight fulfillment of a woman. I saw it. And then, so this book is, she talks about why women are always emotional. I don't understand it. Thank God that coach addressed it this year. Why are you emotional? Why can't you talk with wisdom? Yeah, you cry, and then they'll say women, money, everything was addressed in this book. So I loved it. And my last book is the storehouse principle. And that's another beauty of being in the inner circle. Now, me, I'm not good with soft copy. Once it's soft copy, you lose me. And then this book, well, I was trying to talk for it. I didn't get it. It was an Amazon, but I was like, it's going to take a while. I want to see if I can. So that time passed. But then I have an accountability partner also, Esther. So I reached out to her and said, oh, this book, I don't know I'm going to do it too. She was not like, that she has an app, Pitchify, that can listen to it. I tried the first, it didn't work, but I said, well, I'm going to try. Now, I can also do soft copies, because of this community, right? And so I read that book and it taught, so everything that Gov and Coach used to say before began to made sense about finances, made sense to me by reading that book. Even saying that, you have to have a savings, you have to have a storehouse that God will bless. So even when you say you don't have anything, such that even when I would say that, even if it's $50, even in this life, we'll keep it, and that's something that the books has done. So going quickly to the webinars. My top webinar is how not to bail off your son. Now the very first time coach said it, I think that was my third year. That's my third year in the inner circle. When I heard it, I loved the topic. Why? Because I've seen my husband and I've seen men that build out, and I saw that the difference is clear. I was telling my very good friend, she's also in the other. I don't understand when people say men are scum. I don't have any scum around me that is a man. All the women around me, they are popping with their husband. So I loved it because coach addressed the issue why we say men are scum. But then the third year, it's now changed. Coach of that. So I started listening to that webinar. I was still in school, I was going to class. I listened to the first one. Now, God, that day, I was going to put, I now remember that, my husband, I want him to step up a little. I just had to go, I said, God, I want you to mentor my husband. Coach, God has replied. I said, Tosin, okay, I'm busy. I'll reply later. I'll attend to you later. So I popped it. I got to class, and when I finished, so I started listening again. I just paused. I went back to God. I said, "Don't worry, this already feels like bailout." God was like, "Oh, God, so God, interestingly, God was beginning to respond to me to say, so why do you want to mentor?" And I'm like, "Hey, he pushes me to do but when is this one? I think it needs an extra push, blah blah blah." I said, "Don't worry, this looks like a bailout." Then, my daughter is, like I said, she has always been very active. My son was calm. When they play, somehow my son gets injured. The girl does not get injured. So I say, I beg. So I always say, leave my son, leave my son. Even our adopted daughter then will say, why are you always saying my son, my son? What about this one? Even if you cannot call me your daughter, this one come, I say, I know, but my son, I don't want him. We coach was like, I said, coach, I thought we used to be on the same page. This one, it's like she put a gun on my heart straight. So I realized, but because I was already in the inner circle then, I just realized. So one day, one of those days, my daughter, I can't remember what happened. I said, your brother. I said, no, your son. I said, your brother. I said, no, your son. So I like that. I was already creating sibling rivalry, So I kind of stopped it then, and now you just let them injure you. I remember coach you say, you used to fall down, you have my say, all of you, all right. But listening to that, I just realized that, soft skill, women are born to bail out. Even if I thought I would never have been in that. So that brought that awareness to my life. I'm not bailing you out. It's time for cleaner. I just say, okay, go and do your thing. And because like me, I never on generator, like right in Nigeria. That's how much I thought I was popping. My husband is always hands on and everything. I didn't know that there's also an aspect where you can be bailing on your son. Now, my second webinar is raising a compassionate child. It was Coach Dozier that did it in level 2. I began to see that, the way he brought out Nabal's story, he for me, because I remember that there's this my boss's friend who entered the gate one time and people were hailing me. Was like, these boys, they are the ones who anything that nothing can happen to him. And my dad also says it. So it's very easy for us to call Nabal a fool, but can we also dissect ourselves that we are not sometimes like Nabal, and that really made a lot of sense for me. And then I began to, teach my children more intentionally why you have to be compassionate, why you have to go from sympathy to empathy. One time my daughter used to say, there's one girl that she doesn't like, she's always copying everybody, she's copying her. She likes to be the pastor. I said, I just discern that this child might be a special need, Like no child will just want to be copying you and copying you and copying everybody. So I said, you know what? I think you should be more patient with her. Try and see that if you don't know something, what would you do? So I taught her that if anybody is not talking to that girl in that class, make sure you must help her. You must help her. Like you must go to her. That and I shared with her that when you teach somebody, you also learn better. And I think even after that, that's why they now became very empathetic. I mean, you just come back, they've cooked for you. Okay, recently I was having tooth pain, I was here. They quickly covered immediately. They covered, mommy, let me take care of it. Do you want something? So I left the sitting room. I went to sleep. She came. Hey, mom, do you need anything? I brought your paracetamol. I made tea for you. The same thing, my son was like, do you need anything? When I was pregnant, I thought that it was just because I was pregnant. My daughter, all of them be like, I'm your helper. You must not fall. You must not do it. I thought it was, but there was one day we had a family friend here as well. So one day, I think something fell from the way she flew from this place to the kitchen. I was shocked. Mommy, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. Something just fell. Your dad will come back because I can help you, But the same thing happened to that friend. The same way she shouted, "Hey, boy, you okay?" She flew. So I knew that it's not just us, They've learned empathy. Then the last webinar, what's the third one? So okay, so the last webinar is of course raising the girl with sense again. Just also shattered the table that you have to, when you say they're having that conversation, what are you bringing to the table? What's the meaning of that? Where are you even seeing a man that's telling you what are you bringing to the table? Are you not? That means you have not positioned yourself very well. When you position yourself and you see him, he sees you, recognize that it's not. But there are also other things that, what we need to teach our children. Because I just realized that we have to really teach our children about discernment than opinions in this day, It just everything just flying everywhere, I'm like, so those are like my 3 webinars. Thank you. You want to add anyone? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I know he's also the one who's going to talk about his executive functioning skill. That should be the actual third one. The first time it was Coach those days that I used to take that. When Coach took it this year, and she took it twice this year, right? The first time I sat down with that webinar, I'm like, okay. Because she was mentioning a whole lot of things. I realized that. So my mother will be like, sometimes that something, maybe what I tell to the child. My son was like, Olori, do this very well. I'm like, calm down. And I realized that I'm not that fast like that. I said, okay, this is something you have to deal with. Then this second time, coach was talking about a whole lot of things. She also still talked about that sales thing. She also still talked about before then, when I was in the washroom and the break room, and I was thinking that the results we see in our children is really what we put in. Because they can label emotion. One time they said we should label emotion, we should be writing it. Before 5 p.m., the whole book was filled. Because from 2 years old, I teach them about emotions, Even they're not the ones telling my husband and I, what's the emotion now? Were you just angry? Oh, you put angry, I'm not right happy, I thought that they could really define their emotions, before they asked us to do a camp center, because my son is to battle with tantrum. We were like, let people just be the camp center so that when somebody is angry or something, just go and sit down there and find themselves, And then they built the camp center themselves, even before the two came up. So that executive functioning thing, I was like, okay, I think the result that we are seeing is a result of what we do. If we don't do much as we did then, we will not get much result. Then coach came again and talked about compound, compounding. I'm like, this. So, I sat down with it. And then I'm sure my husband will talk about that executive functioning skill. Because that morning again, there was one conversation that somebody was talking about, how, life has their social age now, life is this, life is that. Like, nobody's going to come and help you. You will help yourself. My husband, like, things can be, I said, nothing. Nobody is going to help. You have to determine that you don't want to remain stuck. You want to change the narrative, And so, bam, the same morning, coach was talking about, and then coach talked about let's going. I just made the comment. My husband is laughing right now. When you say time, because time is big deal for my husband. Like, if you say 10, you're ready. 10, 10. And the same thing with my dad. But me, in my head, I'm still calculating, okay, 10, maybe 5 minutes. My husband will calculate the exact minute it will take you to get to a place. So I consider, I just laugh. I said, my husband is laughing right now, listening to you. All right. So I think over to him.
All right. Thank you so much. The executive functioning skill, it hits me differently because maybe I love to help people so much, so they just bump into my time. Somebody can just call me up now, please, because I see that. But I could see that I will now put my home on emergency mode just to save a soul that is just reaching out to me now. I'm not saying it's not good to be good. There are some times that you may go out of your, but I could see that if I plan my time well and you bump into my time, I will be able to say, oh, I'm sorry, I have something fixed up for that time. So it taught me that I must plan myself. When I plan myself and you come with your unplanned self, I'll be able to put my planned self before your unplanned self. So it's a big deal. I didn't see it that way before. I've not seen it that way before. So I could see that, oh, great. And when Coach Wendy, when she said that if you want to invite me for a function, I mean, maybe a program, and you are telling me a month to, please, even if they will pay me so amount of dollars, thousand and all, I'm not coming. At least you need to notify me 3 months. And that does not even guarantee that I will come, because if that time is fixed up or booked up, I can't disappoint those that are doing it, that I am to, do the program with. So, it's made me to know that I must plan myself, because people will come up with a lot of things, and their own negligence will now become my own emergency. I will now be rushing. No, I've told them. So it's helped me. It has given me a new face. I'm telling you. And the next one is discipline that works. It's discipline that works. I maybe because I grew up with a military man, so maybe I don't know. Maybe I grew up with a military man, a lot of kind of a same environment, and it makes me to see that discipline is not because I spank a lot. Yeah, I do that a lot. I do that a lot. So it makes me to see that, and those times, what we did or what I do, the child may not even come out good. Good in the sense that he will still repeat that thing, not knowing why he or she must not do it and what he or she stands to lose or gain or something like that. So it puts me to balance discipline and to discipline from the place of, I want this child to change, not to inflict marks on them. So that helps me that I can. So it will be a win-win situation. When I discipline you, you gain, I gain. okay, if you do something not good now, I can say write 50 lines that I will not do this. You will mention that thing you did. I will not do it again. Even the fear of writing 50 will first make you not want to do it. I'm not beating you, but you have learned. It improves your handwriting also, as my kids. It improves your hand when you write consecutively like that. You will see that if it is A, you are not writing very well, the A will stand on the line very well. So it then sex educates like a pro. I realize that they shouldn't sex educate my daughter from outside, because they will always give her a wrong education about sex. That I should be the first person. I know her. I know him. I must first be the first person to educate them, because I know their personalities. My my daughter is a sanguine and she's everywhere, and I know what I can do, what I can say before they start to hear it from outside, and they will always give them the opposite side. So those are the things that stood out to me, and I mean to both of us in the house. And
Yes.
we are not there yet, but at least we've moved. We know where we were last year. So thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It is how you've been able to put it in practical terms. You said, don't let someone's negligence to cost you. I mean, I don't know, to
Become
become
your
your
own
own emergency.
emergency.
Yeah, to become your own emergency. That was it for me. This has really been so profound. It's never really the volume of what we learn. It is about how one truth, how one teaching, one webinar, one sentence can just reorder how we see parenting, how we see marriage, and even how we see God. It's about it all. And when they say read books, there are so much things, there are so much powerful line, there are so much knowledge in books that you can never get until you learn to sit down and read these books. When you read these books, he said the sex educate series. Have you gotten these books? Get this book, sit down, read this book, and see how what is in this book can actually change and turn around the whole journey for you. Because you are a parent, you need to sit down and read differently. When you read differently, you do things, you parent differently, you lead differently. So, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma. Mrs. Adegboye. So I would want to ask you one last question before I let you go because of time. We've actually So what would be your final word to fathers, to mothers and couples watching today about parenting intentionally and parenting with God in this assignment? And to you, sir, Mr. Adegboye, I want to know, many fathers, they struggle to become actively involved in intentional parenting. What would you say to these parents? What would you say to fathers, rather? What would you say to fathers who are still struggling to be actively involved, to do this intentionally? What would you say to them to make them actually say yes to this journey, to come in and hold this position and lead differently? Over to you. We'll start with you, ma, and then to you, sir, and then I will just let you go.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. If for parents, we're in a dangerous time, like really dangerous. The devil we are dealing with is now very daring. He's not hiding anymore. You don't want to know the things that are going on. My daughter came home and said they're talking, teaching them, reading. The teacher was reading to them about a book titled The Witch, and then God helped us. She sent a mail that they were going to watch. So she had told them that does something, and then they were going to get a reward, and it was supposed to be a movie. But then it was the witch. So the first time she was telling me about, thank God we have those conversations. She told me, and I'm like, why are you listening to the witch? What does a witch do that is good? So like, and they even turn children to rats. She didn't get it then. I said, but that children that are turning to rats could be you, your brother, or your friend. She said, God forbid. I said, so that's why you shouldn't. But if you're not in the inner circle First of all, you may not know that these things exist. We can have conversations, crush, sex, rape. There's nothing they don't tell us. If I was not in the nursery, the first time my daughter talked about crush, I could have swallowed because she was very young, but they know now. So you know what? If people still feel like they're in the olden days, your children cannot even talk about condom, you are dead. I felt like maybe I could have been that kind of parent too. It was because I'm in the inner circle. There's nothing. Yesterday she was saying, "Can you get me labu?" Labu. What's that? Labu labu. I'm like, I didn't know that kind of conversation she could even ask. But because I'm in the inner circle, I have all the knowledge. So I said, okay, go and research on it and tell me why you should get that or I should get it for you. So if you're in the inner, you're still outside, you're still there, you're thinking, should you do this, should you not do this? Or you're even in that circle, you're at the back. Please, don't be at the back, be in the front. There's something. Some people ask me, how are you able to do this? You're here, you're there, how are you able? It's because I know. Coach will say that your children don't wait for you. They don't pause their lives for you. People say, I'm busy right now. Give me 5 years. I want to finish my master's. Your children, by the time you want to connect, they are gone. So time is a currency and you have to put in. And don't go out of the accountability because you think, yeah, I have enough knowledge now. Things change every day. And that's for you that you're in the inner circle, that you're planning on leaving. Things change every day. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. The only reason why you're overwhelmed is because you even know that there are things that you need to deal with. When you're outside, you don't know that there are things that you need to do. So that your overwhelmness is telling you that there's a lot to do. And then for people that don't want to join, it's the money. Yes. But you know that, okay, so the very first course I did, I told you about, I didn't even have that money then. We're not in that space to have money. But you know what I did? I told God I needed this thing. I think coach even she slashed that course. I said I needed this thing. And I heard, put it on your status. So I put that course and I wrote sponsors needed. I was looking up for one of my friends. It was somebody totally that just came back to, after 24 hours, nothing happened really. I said, God, you said I should do it, nothing I could do. Then the person came and said, sorry, madam, I was busy in the office that time. I think I saw something that he said sponsored in there. And he gave me like 5 times 5 of it. So don't let money, I'm trying to say this, don't let money be the reason why you will not do it. There's always if you can think it in your head, if you desire it, you will get that money. God will bring it. So that's for you that you're outside. Please come in. We are, like Coach Ebuka will say, flood is coming. I think flood is here because you can't do it by yourself. You need accountability. You need the community, which TIP gives you. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
All right. For those that the Bible says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. It didn't say they perish because they don't pray. You can pray, but you still don't have knowledge. You can't pray to switch on the computer. You need knowledge on where the power on button is. Some things you don't need to pray because you can just, by knowledge, you can just get it. So knowledge is power, as the adage says. If we invest more into being a good father, husband to our children, husband to our wife, father to our children, and all sorts. If we invest like that, the way we invest on our career, I want to have my master's, I want to have this certification, they are good, I have mine also. If that's the way we take being a parent, I think we will have a good community. And it is high time fathers that are on this platform or that may look at this video later on in life, it is high time we rise. We rise. Because look at, like, statistics have it, more than 60% of whom that is breaking now, it is absence of father. And even the mother that should stand up to this call, it's not even there. So money is a big deal, I know, but if we put our hearts to it, we can be able to make, because now, don't think I'm going to give my son or my daughter to your bad son to marry.
Never.
God cannot even tell me to do it. And if God leaves me to do it myself, it's a no. And my son cannot bring no sense lady home. So if we all, the Lord did not start the world by creating everybody. He just created Adam and Eve. And through them, everything continues. So if it will take you, me, to start to have a positive environment, community, to build it together, fathers are needed, and fathers are scarce. I mean, responsible ones. I've chosen to be a responsible father for my home, husband to my wife. And if you two and I can choose to make that decision to be responsible, in less than 1 year, our community will be fine. Yes, there will be a lot of positivity there. So I encourage fathers on this platform, whether you are a visitor on this platform or you are in, to do more. You are a visitor, just a trial will convince you. That's just it. A trial will convince you. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma. Mr. Adegboye said, a trial will convince you. Yes. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Adegboye. Thank you so much for your honesty and openness today. Hearing your journey, hearing your story, I mean, it has reminded us that intentional parenting doesn't begin with the perfect children. It doesn't begin with the perfect couple. It doesn't begin with you, perfect you. It begins with parents who are willing to grow, learn, and lean to God on this journey, on this process. Your journey shows the power of partnership. I mean, it has shown it in different angles. As a father, as a mother, and as a couple working together in faith, choosing growth, embracing God's presence, and showing up consistently. You've been consistent on this journey. Every other person here have been witness to that consistency, even when it stretches you. This whole journey, it keeps creating that effect in your children. It makes them, if I don't know, it feels like for it feels in your children for a lifetime. It feels in your children, the next generation to come, and next. It's the life legacy that we all need. Thank you so much, ma. We'll let our amazing guests go now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mr. and Mrs. Abonye, I really appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma, for being here. We honor you. We celebrate you. Do have an amazing day. Bye. Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. To every parent listening, especially the fathers, I want you to draw nearer and I want you to hear this. Growth doesn't wait for perfection. It is in the obedience. If Coach Wendy hasn't answered and taken that, I mean, being obedient to take this assignment, who all wouldn't have been here today? Who all wouldn't have been learning? Who all wouldn't have been on this space? Who all wouldn't have been saved by this community? Yes, it is the willingness. It is in you obeying. It is in you obeying and taking the front seat, being in front, not struggling with it. Just obey. Say yes. Be your willingness. Be willing to learn. Right? It is in the willingness to learn. To every parent listening, especially fathers, growth doesn't wait for perfection. It starts when you say yes. Yes to learning new ways to lead your family. Yes to unlearning patterns that doesn't serve your home, that doesn't serve you to a better person, that doesn't make you a responsible father, that doesn't make you the father who is in the front seat. Yes to showing up consistently, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it's messy, even when no one notices. Keep showing us, keep becoming that yada father, keep being in front. We see you, we celebrate you. That's the power of fathers who lead with intentionality. When fathers chooses to grow, it sets the tone for both their home, for their children, for their whole life, for their marriage, for every legacy that they have dropped, that they are creating. It set the tone for every one of it. That's exactly what the Inner Circle program does. It doesn't promise a perfect home. It transforms your heart. It transforms your personality. It transforms you as a father. And in those transformed hearts, fathers and mothers walk in purpose. When your heart is transformed, you see yourself, you walk in purpose. That builds a lasting impact. God sent us this for you. God has sent us the Inner Circle for you. Take the advantage. Jump into the yard. Come into the yard. Change your whole generation. Change the whole narrative. Come into the yard. Take the advantage of this offer. For today is 4 days to go. Jump in, take the offer, register, bring in your community, bring in your circle, come into the yard as a couple, come into the yard, even if your spouse is not willing, come in, you that is a willing heart, do the work and see everything transform. And if you've not gotten your 6-in-1 parenting book, it's available. Yes, I am so excited that these books are available. We have been anticipating for this book, and now it is here. The 6 books are here. If you have not gotten your copy yet, it is this opportunity that you have now to get your copies before we ship them out. Yes, we are sorting the orders, and everyone who have ordered during the flash sale and the pre-order sale, the books are ready. You are going to get your books everywhere you are, no matter where in the world we are. We have distributors all over the world. Get your books, order for your books, get the 6 complete set as 50,000 naira. But if you prefer to get one at a time, you can grab one of this book for just 8,500. Do that and remain blessed. Parents, keep growing, keep praying, keep showing up consistently, and trust that every small step that you put, every work that you put, every implementation that you put, keep shaping the children's for tomorrow. Keep shaping your life for tomorrow. Keep shaping you, making you ready, preparing you for a time like this. Thank you so much, and until next time on my intentional parenting journey, remain blessed. God bless you. Stay intentional. Show up consistently. See you tomorrow. We'll go next. Bye.
Common phrases in the Inner Circle. Let's go.
You're coming for an Inner Circle webinar and you're not with your yellow blanket with red trimmings. Is that even a joke?
Oh, I'm running and I'm not looking back because 10,000 lions are chasing me. I have watched all the webinars, but today, Coach came with a bazooka.
Even with my humility agbada, I still collected.
If you're not in the ark, you better enter now because flood na bia o.
In the Inner Circle, we dey walk and they show.
CIP police is coming for you. There is no need harness here.
You definitely cannot relate because you are not in the yard.
If you are not in the yard,
why not?